couple things. As you guys know, Matt Merrick has decided to pursue other options. I believe last that we spoke with him, he's not quite sure if he's going to continue to play football. He's going to focus on his academics right now and kind of play things by ear. As for practice today, it was, the guys tried. It was obvious that a week off for spring break and the new way of doing things was very taxing to them, but they tried to fight through it, and was proud of them for that. But we've got to build our football stamina a lot better to be able to sustain a 2-hour and 15-minute practice that should easily fly by. That guys are, right now dragging and huffing and puffing and all that stuff towards the end, and but that'll come. I mean, it's every year. It doesn't matter how much winter conditioning you do, and the same in the summer. The summer is pretty much all conditioning, and yet training camp, it takes guys 4 or 5 full padded practices to really get in football shape. And so, questions?
Are you shocked by that?
Nope. Happens every year.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe shocked by.
Well, when you say guys tried, I mean, that makes it sound like you're disappointed in what happened out there.
Oh no! That was encouraging to me. They tried to fight through it. I was a bit shocked at the level of. I was shocked at how early they hit the wall in terms of in the practice. I was like, we could barely get through the special teams segment. And then I was shocked at the level of how hard it hit them.
Yeah.
But I was very, very pleased with the effort that was given to try to fight through it.
Let's talk about your depth as far as the quarterback position goes with America no longer being here.
Well, we got 2. One's 19 and one's 18.
Is that enough depth?
No. We'll try to see what's out there, on the waiver wire, and but I hope it is. I'll say my rosary every night and sprinkle some holy water on those 2 guys that they can stay healthy.
Does there any way Gerard Hurd maybe fits in the mix?
Sure, he would have anyways, and not to disparage Matt, but that probably would have been a better option for us had both those guys gone down anyway. So not this spring. His head is swimming, and again, we're talking about a scenario to where quarterback A goes out, gets hurt. Quarterback B goes out, gets hurt. All right, Gerard, here's your 8 plays that we practiced all week. Go get us out of the game. Defense, go win the game for us. And then, okay, Gerard's the starting quarterback on Sunday. Now let's get him up to speed. Does that make sense?
Tom, when you mentioned 18 and 19 in that room, is it the idea of just having a senior in there to help? I mean, you've been in successful quarterback rooms. How much does having a veteran guy that's gone through stuff, would that help guys like that are younger?
Went 12-0 with 11-1 with a redshirt freshman that finished 5th in the Heisman. So depends on the kids. They're both those kids are more like JT Barrett than they are some other ones I've coached.
From the program's long-term perspective, isn't it better to have Buechele or Ellinger either win the job and play all the games? I mean, wouldn't it bringing in a grad transfer kind of stunt their growth? If that person won the job.
We got to win.
Right.
I don't know. We lost 7 games 3 straight years around here. So
right.
If that grad transfer is better than those 2 and can beat them out, then we'll worry about their growth next spring.
What do you tell those young guys when they hear that you're interested in a grad transfer and they're thinking they're competing for something right now?
They understood. They were great. Like, heck yeah. You look around the room, there's 2 guys in here that are on scholarship. I tell you what, the Covey kid, actually might be a better option right now at third string quarterback than Gerard. He went out there and he didn't get a whole lot of reps in team, but in the kind of routes on air segment and whatnot, I mean, the kid can run a little bit, and he threw the ball pretty well. So, no, Sam and Shane were, I mean, once the news that Matt was leaving hit, you just, it doesn't matter what age the person you're bringing in is. I mean, I don't know in the history of, since we went to 85 scholarships at, Power 5 school has gone through a season with 2 quarterbacks on scholarship. It probably has, but it's pretty rare.
I guess why I asked that as coach is most grad transfers come in expecting to play. Very few believe that they're going to carry a clipboard. They're not coming in for depth.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't think that's true. We had a great experience with a kid named Adam Schultz from University of Utah. Had actually started a few games, and they kind of had a little quarterback carousel going around there, and he was told, hey, it's going to be a 2-man race in the fall, and he said, okay, I just want to go compete somewhere, and came to Houston and competed with Greg Ward Jr. And we signed him because we quite frankly didn't know if Greg could play quarterback, and Adam turned out to be a marvelous backup quarterback and had a tremendous experience at the University of Houston, and I think is working for the NCAA right now, and I think got that job through his ties with the University of Houston. So I don't think that's always the case, and I think they're all different. And if a guy, you would quite literally have to have 0 quarterbacks on your roster for said grad transfer to think that there's going to be 0 competition. So I think they realize they're always going to have to go beat out who's ever in that room.
Do you have any updates on the health of Beck or Dixon? That's what Dixon running around out there.
Yeah, Beck was limited today, but in pads, was non-contact. So he's running, he's cutting, he's catching passes. He went through 7-on-7 individual, but it'll probably be next week before we put another, 300-pound man on him and have him block him and really stick that foot in the ground. But he did good. The punter was supposed to punt today, but was a little sore from punting yesterday. So, again, we're handling him with kid gloves. I don't say that very often about very many people, especially specialists. But, I told Anthony Pass, our trainer, there's no depth chart. I got it, but I saw a highlight film on ESPN on a Wednesday night at I believe that's called the Home Depot Awards for the Ray Guy Award. So I kind of know what the punter can do. So we're going to take it really slow with him, and maybe by the end of camp, maybe get him. He wants to go out and punt, and but it'd be foolish for us knowing what's there, and what his capabilities are.
Tom, the slot position in your offense, how critical of a position is that, and what tools do you think Devin Duvernay has, or what just kind of glimpses have you seen that leads you to believe he could succeed there?
It's paramount. It's kind of the uniqueness of our offense. I think our slot receivers the last 2 years at Houston, right on the dot at 98 catches. I think, it's maybe his second year at Ohio State, 100 catches, Corey Philly Brown. So it's got to be a guy that can beat man-to-man coverage, can find windows over the middle with big linebackers, and then be able to motion in the backfield and hand the ball to as well. And so what have I seen in Devin? Today I was, again, without watching the film, you always want to preface that, because I could come back Thursday and tell you I watched the film and he stunk. But I said, okay, maybe maybe this guy can do something if he takes coaching and continues to get better as a route runner.
Do you feel a little bit happier with defensive linemen, or they still need to get in shape?
I saw him making plays inside. The one thing, they still got to get in shape. So this is kind of a two-part question. So yes, they still have to get in shape, but I am happier with them because I saw them in pads. The one thing that you could tell, even in the winter conditioning drills, is that they do have a lot of them, even though they're sloppy, their bodies are sloppy, they got a really quick and explosive first step. And you saw that a lot today in pads and inside drill and team and all that. So yeah, I was more pleased, but yes, they still have to get in shape.
You mentioned guys maybe hit a little bit of wall, but before practice, were they excited? Were they
Nervous?
Wanting to be physical?
Yeah, I think so. We had a very excitable team meeting about what the expectations were going to be today, and I think they responded. I went and Coach Orlando called the defense into the defensive meeting room, and I went and listened to that, and that was very inspiring. And so I think the answer is yes. I mean, in short order, they want to be physical and they want to do things our way. We got to push through this wall and get in football shape in order to see if, because everybody can do it when they're fresh. Everybody can do it when their bodies feel good. Everybody can do it in the first quarter. It's when you're tired and you're hot and you're sweaty and you got a bump on a part of your body that doesn't belong there, and it's the fourth quarter and you played 80 snaps. That's where this kicks in, and that's we train the minds much more than we train the bodies, because it's the most powerful tool that they have, and it's the most valuable piece of equipment.
It was no secret at Houston that you had physical practices.
Mhm.
And whatnot. I mean, do you want to see guys light each other up out here? I mean,
No.
What's kind of the boundary of what you want to see physically?
Yeah,
physically?
the boundary is form, tackle, no cheap shots. Great form and blocking, and that's on both sides of the ball. No like peel back decleaters. We don't cut on the backside of any plays. Even when we're live, we only cut on the front side. And the tackles we don't tackle from behind. If we do, we dive at legs, not horse collar or try to grab anybody from behind. So we coach how to have physical practices without being silly and without being reckless. So I think those are a bunch of the major kind of coaching points on that.
Going back to what you talked about before about 3 straight losing seasons, from what granted it's a very small sample size, is that a physical team out there? Are they willing to knock each other around?
Willing, yes. Do they, or it's two different questions.
Right.
Is that a physical team? No. Are they willing to be? Yes.
Okay.
These guys had
2 last ones.
0 defensive touchdowns, 0 special teams touchdowns last year. I think you guys had 6 total at
Wow.
Houston last year. How do you coach playmaking? Is it just confidence, or how do you coax that out of guys? Because 0's a problem.
No, I think it's a trusting in your training and the ability to go out and not think and just play, and that puts you a step ahead rather than a step behind. And so when you've done something over and over and over 10,000 times, and you've been trained mentally over and over and over, then and you're out there and your body is in great peak condition, and you just stick your foot in the ground and go execute your training, really good things happen. When you're out there thinking or tiptoeing and feeling around or evaluating, you're going to be a step or two behind.
Mm-hmm. Tough to win without those kind of breaks too.
There are no breaks.
No, I mean takeaways for scores, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, those aren't breaks though.
Earned.
Those are earned and coached. Yeah.
Tom, specifically with specifically on defense, how much do you balance out what you're installing with making sure that guys can do fundamental things like tackling space and shut up block and things like that?
You want to install it all early because they have to be exposed to it mentally. But then at the same time, on the field, for the 2 hours you're on the field, you tell them, we don't care about mistakes. We'll fix mistakes in the meeting room. We care about effort and ball security. That's it. That's all we want to see. Run to the football to the echo of the whistle on defense and on offense, and protect the football on offense. And we'll correct all the mistakes. But I think you have to introduce that to them, or else you're going to stunt their growth, and they don't have anything to practice over the summer on their own on the player-led stuff. So you install it, you fill the bucket, overflow the bucket, and then whatever spilled out, you put back in throughout spring ball. But for the 2 hours that we're on the field, everything is about effort and ball security, and then you coach the scheme in the meeting room. I think most of you know that we do have a student appreciation practice on Saturday at noon in Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. That is open to any and all students at the University of Texas with a valid student ID, and we encourage everybody. I hope that all 50,000 students show up. It's a great opportunity. They'll be on the field with our players throughout the scrimmage. There'll be a skills competition where they'll have an opportunity to compete and throw the football against Colt McCoy and run against Michael Huff and do some really cool things that haven't been done around here in a long time. So again, I implore our students. It's really important because we play for our student body, and we are a mere I'm old school when it comes to college football. This is still college football. No matter how big we get, we are a representation of the student body. That's all we are, and we exist solely for the purpose of entertainment and for morale and school spirit of our student body. And we want to give back to those students, and we hope they take advantage of that. Thanks.